Hey everybody, Metagross Freak here with a video that's a little bit different than what I normally do, and that is because it's a Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today I want to go over a card that is kind of interesting because it's kind of a mix of Yu-Gi-Oh history, and that is Pharaoh's Servant. It's a level 2 zombie with 900 attack, 0 defense, and its flavor text reads, "An apparition of those said to formerly serve the Pharaoh. It has tremendous loyalty that does not waver." It even has, and I'd say it has some pretty decent artwork. It looks pretty cool. I like it. The only thing is, if you'll notice, if you look at it, it does not come in the Pharaoh Servant set. It comes in AST. Now, after doing a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh research on my phone, I was able to find that actually that was from the Ancient Sanctuary set. Pharaoh's Servant, the set Pharaoh Servant, came out in the spring of 2003. Meanwhile, Ancient Sanctuary came out in June of 2004, a little over a year later. Strangely enough, Ancient Sanctuary included a lot of fairy-type monsters, including the agents, like Agent of Mercury and Agent of Venus, so it's kind of strange that a series called Ancient Sanctuary, which has a lot of fairies, would have a zombie named after a series from over a year before. Looking up Pharaoh's Servant, in case for those of you who don't remember the series that well, after all, it was over 10 years ago, Pharaoh's Servant had a huge amount of trap cards and had some really awesome monsters that, they probably are like well known now. Like, for example, Thousand Eyes are Strict and Jinzo. However, this also gave us the first printing of cards like Imperial Order, Ceasefire, one of my favorite cards, Call of the Haunted, and Premature Burial. Out of it's kind of interesting to look at just the breakdown, because out of 105 cards in the set, there were only 66 commons, which means you had a huge variety of rarer cards to obtain. That being said, Pharaoh's Servant as a card is actually kind of useless. Unless you're somehow able to swarm a bunch of these, it doesn't really matter. But it's interesting to see, especially in the English version, how sometimes we'll get cards that just have weird names that don't really go with the set. For those of you who aren't aware, they don't always do it now, but in the original series for the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And even a little bit of GX, they would actually take sets and piece them together. For example, the Pharaoh's Servant set was actually a combination of Curse of Anubis and Thousand Eyes Bible. Meanwhile, Ancient Sanctuary was... Sorry. Ancient Sanctuary was a combination of Sanctuary in the Sky and Pharaoh's Inheritance. So we don't see it as much now, mainly because Konami releases more periodic sets, but it's interesting to see a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh history from a few years back. And I remember when Yu-Gi-Oh started too. I was in 3rd grade when I got into it. I'm now going into my junior year in college, so the fact that it's been that long shows that, even though I don't play it as often, shows that I've been around for this long. So let me know what you think, and if there's any other kind of cool cards or stuff you want me to go over, just let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Until next time, I'm Metagross Freak, and thanks for watching.